Okay, what's up YouTube? This is J-Man Time, and today I have another rare weapon for you guys today. Today's weapon is a rare German submachine gun by the name of the Heinemann MP-32. The Heinemann MP-32, also known as the Maschinenpistolen Heinemann, is a rare German limited production submachine gun that was designed sometime between 1930 and 1932. This weapon was chambered for the 9 by 19mm parabellum and was fed by either a 20 to 40 round box magazine and had a rate of fire of 450 to 550 rounds per minute estimate. This weapon was one of the many limited production weapons designed during the era of the Weimar Republic. Now, during the era of the Weimar Republic, the German military was only allowed to have 100,000 troops, several older pre-dreadnought style battleships, and no tanks or aircraft, but they did have some armored cars. So towards the end of the Weimar Republic, between the years 1927 through 1933, or 32 really, but 33, the Germans were attempting to secretly rebuild their army. One of the weapons that was submitted was this weapon, the Heinemann MP-32. This weapon was designed by a German engineer by the name of Karl Heinemann. Heinemann offered his weapon to the military of the Weimar Republic, known as the Reichswehr. The Reichswehr was the name of the German army before the adoption of the term Wehrmacht between 1919 and 1935, actually. The name of the German army was the Reichswehr. The Reichswehr had already adopted a submachine gun in 1928 by the name of the MP-28, which was a redesign of the MP-18 submachine gun from World War I, but redesigned to fire from a 32-round box magazine instead of the 32-round Snell magazine that it had used. So by the time the Heinemann submachine gun was introduced, the Germans had no need for this weapon. Also, the Germans were working on several other weapons. For example, the Irma MP-34 and the MP-35, and there were also other submachine guns designed in the years before the Heinemann submachine gun by the man named Heinrich Vollmer. You may remember that Heinrich Vollmer was one of Germany's most prolific arms designer in the 1920s and 30s. Heinrich Vollmer had designed a bunch of submachine guns that were already in use in limited numbers by the army of the Weimar Republic. So they basically rejected this Heinemann MP-32. So Karl Heinemann then went to the Belgian firearms company FN, also known as Fabrique Nationale, in order to see if the Belgian military would adopt this weapon. The Belgian military never adopted it. They did test it, but the Fabrique Nationale firearms company decided to sell the weapon anyway. They made a limited number of these guns. I don't know how many exactly. But the Belgian version was different from the German version. The Belgian version was chambered in 7.63 by 25mm Mauser. The same cartridge used in the German Mauser C96 broom handle pistol and some of the earlier models of the MP-18/MP-28, especially the Chinese version of the MP-28, the Tsingtao Arsenal model 1928/29. So this Heinemann submachine gun is pretty rare. It's one of the rarest submachine guns. This weapon was also used in the Chaco War, or the Grand Chaco War between Bolivia and Paraguay. For those of you who don't know, between 1932 and 1935, Bolivia and Paraguay actually fought each other in a massive military conflict known as the Grand Chaco War. And during that war, Bolivia purchased a ton of different weapons from both Germany, Belgium, Czechoslovakia, and a bunch of other European countries that included limited production submachine guns. This Heinemann MP-32 was one of the weapons purchased by the Bolivian military and used during the Grand Chaco War. I have read some reports that this weapon was used in limited numbers, maybe like a few dozen were used by the Austrian army in the years before Germany annexed Austria in 1938. So yeah, this weapon, the Heinemann MP-32 is one of the rare submachine guns designed by the Germans during the era of the Weimar Republic. What do you think of this weapon? Please tell me in the comments section below. And until next time, this was J-Man Time, signing off.